y'all. How are you guys doing? Yo, I'm in the bushes somewhere, okay? Like, look at this. I'm in the bushes somewhere, okay? Let's call this wilderness. Let's call this wilderness. I miss you guys so much. I know I haven't spoken to you guys in so long. Sorry, guys. I'm looking everywhere because I'm hearing, like, things running around. It's probably lizards, and I'm not scared of animals. As long as I don't cross their territory, then I'm good. Just want to make sure I'm not stepping on nothing. But I had to move away because the resort's too loud, right? To make you guys a video. There's too much kids running around and music, and you guys can probably still hear the music and stuff. But I wanted some peace and quiet. Yo, I want to go deeper in. I want to show you guys what I'm doing. Let me show you guys. Hold on. I want to go deeper in here, but I'm shook. I'm not going to lie. What is that? I'm shook. You know what? Let me go. Yeah, I think I should go deeper in. Let's go deeper in. Let's go deeper in. Okay. I'm good right here. Let me lean on this tree right here. I don't know how Jesus went in the wilderness, because I'd be shook to go in the wilderness. For real. Anyways, I have a lot to talk to you guys about, but I'm going to start with this quick video here. It always starts from me reflecting. Do you get what I'm saying? But I was really reflecting to God about some things last night and early this morning. And a lot of you guys are going through the same things, and I had to really reflect and really think back, because we have moments where we feel lonely, you know, like as chosen ones. We have moments where you feel lonely, like we ain't got nobody, and we know we got God and stuff, but it feels lonely. It's kind of like, damn, where's my, excuse my language, but it's kind of like, where's my friends, you know, where's my family, where's everything, and God had to really check me this morning. I was thinking about, like, all the times I've literally been there for people, you know, all the times where people cried out for help and I was there for them, family, friends, everybody, you know what I mean? And I always tried to see the best in people. But I thought about, like, when it was time for me, it's like no one ever saw the best in me. Everybody just saw the negative. Like I said to you guys, you know, about the scarcity mindset. I'm going to make a video separately about that. It's going to be a long video, so I want to talk to you guys about stuff like that. You know, a scarcity mindset where people are mainly always thinking about the negatives instead of the positives about every situation or a person, etc. And I feel like everyone just always saw the negativity in me. No one ever saw the positive. No one ever saw people saw my potential, which is why it made sense as to why certain people tried to block me. But it was like I was never credited for the positives. It was always like negatives were more brought up than it's like people would, when you weigh the pros and cons out, you would see there's a lot more positives that I've done than negatives, right? It's the same concept with you guys. It's like people will literally hold on to the negatives, and they won't even take a second out their day to really reflect and think about the positives you guys have made, the changes you guys have made. There's no congratulations or no I'm proud of you. It's always like, let me tell you something. It's kind of like, if people cannot no longer use your negativity against you, it's like now they want to try to block you. You get what I'm saying? It's like, give me an example. It's like when you have a lot of negativity going on in your life, don't you notice that there's a lot more people around you when there's negativity going on in your life? It's like they want to see you down. They want to see the negativity. It's like they want to see you fall. They want to see you fail. They want to witness that side of you. They want to witness you fail, okay? And then when there's a lot of positivity, it's like nobody wants to be around you unless they want something. Oh, that was a beautiful bird. Unless they want something from you. And I noticed that. And I was telling God, like, why is it our number one enemies is mainly family? You know, forget about the friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the people that are supposed to really be there for you. It's like you start to notice that they were not really there for you. You know, they were not really there for you. And it's sad because now, because most of you guys, that's your biggest, excuse me, but that's your biggest downfall. I'm going to keep it real. And God was telling me that, like, most of you guys, your biggest downfall is your family. Look at what happened to Joseph. Joseph had no idea that his biggest downfall was like his brothers. You know what I mean? That they wanted him out. You know, and Joseph always tried to see the best. That's the thing about us chosen ones. We always want to see the best in people. We think because some people are our blood, they're supposed to love us. They're supposed to protect us. They're supposed to be there when we're crying out for help. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. They want to see us cry for help. It's like they take pleasure in seeing us cry for help and not helping us. They take pleasure in that. And then when you choose to remove yourself, you know, to branch out into other territories and to make something of yourself, to elevate and to really find help on your own and to not ask them for help. Now you're so-called the enemy. Now you're the bad guy. Now you're the bad guy. Do you get what I'm saying? Now they feel like they're entitled to try to block your purpose. They're entitled to try to bring you down. They're entitled to any success you have, or they're entitled to take any credit for your success, when the whole time they were not there for you. When the whole time they wanted to see you cry for help and nobody was there for you. You know what I mean? So I had to really reflect on this. And I'm like, God, why is that? Why is that? And I told you guys this before, and God already explained this to me before, but it's because you guys are breaking a generational curse. You're breaking a generational cycle. You know, you have to understand that scarcity mindset can be passed down through generations. A scarcity mindset could be you settling. It's like everyone in your family may have settled and you're choosing not to settle. You know there's something bigger out there for you. You know God has a bigger plan for you. You refuse to settle. You refuse to sit down and accept the way how your life is. Where everybody else in your family may have told you, you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, you want to be a musician? You shouldn't be a musician. You're not going to make it. Oh, you want to be in the arts? You can't be in the arts. You're not going to make it. Oh, you want to be an engineer? You can't be an engineer. You're not going to make it. It's like they want you to keep that same scarcity mindset. They want you to grow up in poverty. They want you to be miserable at your job. They want you to not have savings. They want you to not invest into crypto or whatever. They want you to not have a relationship with God. It's like everybody wants to just see you fail. They want to see you fail. And you're like, no, I want more. You notice every time you try to find more out of life, you notice that they try to block you more. Why is it when you were around a lot of people, including friends, that did not support you? Why is it you notice that they were more around you when you were going through a lot of stuff? The thing is, they try to make it seem like they're around you to support you, because no, they're around you because they want to see you fall. They want to see you fail. They take pleasure in seeing you unhappy. They take pleasure in seeing you down. But as soon as you notice that you're like, nope, I want more in my life, I'm elevating, you notice now that's when they go harder with the spell work. Now they go harder with the rituals. Now they go harder with the witch doctors. You know why? Because before, when you were around them, they didn't have to go hard because they saw you already suffering. They didn't have to pay as much money then because they saw you suffering already, right? Now that you're not suffering anymore, now they gotta go in their pockets even more. You see what I mean? That's why the rituals are even 10 times harder now that you've removed yourself from these people. You notice that? It's like, why would someone pay for more rituals to be done on you if you're already suffering in front of them? They took pleasure in seeing you suffer. Here's the reverse psychology that God was showing me. They took so much pleasure in you suffering. They helped you with the little things. So then when you do decide to elevate, they can use that and say, oh, I helped this person with this. Oh, I helped this person with that. When they were homeless, I took them in. When they were homeless, I did that. Not realizing that, but you guys not realizing that when you were living with them, they still mistreated you. Do you get what I'm saying? It would have been way more easier being on the street than staying somewhere where you weren't even wanted to begin with, where people felt like you were causing too much pressure on them or in their pockets or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? Because behind the scenes, they were having negative conversations about you, they don't want you in their home, they don't want you around them, all of that. But then as soon as you start elevating, they're using this, oh, I helped her or I helped him when they needed me the most. They did that for a reason, so they can have something over your head. Don't let that fool you. And it's not you being ungrateful, because when you really think about it, when you guys were in that situation, you were still being mistreated, you're still being mistreated regardless. You were still being mistreated regardless. When someone truly definitely wants to help you from their heart, when they're helping you, you're not going to feel mistreated in the process of them helping you. Do you get what I'm saying? If you feel like you're still being mistreated when someone is supposed to help you, they're not really helping you. That's the difference. So see, they will use that against you. When I was staying with one of my family members and she was so-called helping me in the moment when I needed help, I was crying out for help in that moment, and they were ignoring me while I was crying out for help. But it looked like they were helping me because I was residing with them, not realizing later on that was the main person, that was one of the person that were doing the spell work on me. But they used me being around them as a cover-up, to cover up the fact that they're helping me in need when I was suffering while I was still with them. It's when I removed myself from this person when the suffering stopped, but the rituals got stronger because they realized that I was catching on. I was noticing what they were doing to me. right? That's what God's trying to tell you guys. Sometimes you don't have to cry out for help, because what happened was you guys were crying out for help to the wrong people. You guys are crying out for help to the wrong people. That's what God was saying. Sometimes we don't, crying out for help is not, I need your help. Crying out for help is literally you're suffering in front of someone and they're watching you suffer. They're watching you suffer. They're watching you being sick all day. They're watching you being so sleepy and so tired. They're watching you not being able to get your life together. And you're literally going to them to ask them, hey, can I get advice on this? Can I get advice on that? Even just you going to someone and wanting to share your dreams, wanting to share what you want to do in the future. That alone is crying out for help, because you want someone to validate you, to say, yes, I think you should do this. Yes, I think you should do it. You want someone's approval. So that alone is crying out for help. Crying out for help doesn't always have to mean that you're asking someone for help. It can just mean you just wanting advice from someone who you think is supposed to love you, who you think is supposed to be there for you. Crying out for help is you giving to other people who didn't deserve it, giving to other people that didn't deserve it, knowing deep down they don't even deserve you giving to them. Do you see what I'm saying? But that was you crying out for help, because you so badly wanted to prove to people that, hey, if I can give to you and I can show you how good of a person I am, I'm hoping you can do the same in return to me. Because you hear that saying, treat others the way you want to be treated. Because you so badly want to be accepted. You so badly want to be treated right. You feel like you have to give to other people so much and continue giving to other people for them to be like, you know what? I'm going to give back to this person. I'm going to give back, because you want people to see, hey, I'm treating you the way I want to be treated. Can you treat me the way I want to be treated too? That alone is crying out for help, because not everyone is supposed to be given to. That's why a lot of people used you guys. Same thing happened to me. That's why a lot of people used us. The same people we were crying out to help for and reaching out to them. I mean, like I said, it doesn't mean, hey, I need your help. It's more like, hey, I want to vent to you. I want to talk to you. I need your advice on this. I need your advice on that. These were the same people that were taken from you, that were stealing from you, that were lying to you behind your back, that were talking behind your back, that were looking down upon you behind your back. And you kept giving. You kept being nice. Crying out for help doesn't always have to be you going through a toxic situation or you going through something and asking someone for help. It can literally just be like you giving to the wrong people. I remember, let me tell you guys something. I'm going to testify right now. I like being in the wilderness like this. I'm going to do this more often. Might even go into the forest when I get back home. But let me tell you guys something. Do you know there was a time in my life where I had to do some stuff that I'm not proud of? And I had to feed my kids. I had no diapers. I had no food in the fridge. I had nothing. And I couldn't reach out to nobody and say, hey, can I get some formula money? I couldn't even reach out to their dad and ask them for formula money. Can I get some diapers? When I asked their dad for stuff, you know what he said? You made your bed, you lay in it. Do you get what I'm saying? When I asked for stuff, right? I couldn't reach out to family and ask for money for formula and all that stuff, because nobody was helping me. Nobody was helping me. So I had to stoop low of the low to make sure I can feed my kids. And when I was going through that moment, I was drinking heavily. You know why I was drinking heavily? Because I had to block out my pain. I had to numb myself from feeling the pain. I had to numb myself just so I can make sure I can make some money for my kids. I'm being real with y'all and raw with y'all right now. I was reflecting on this morning. Do you know that while I was making money, I had to pay a lot of the friends that were around me. I had to pay them to watch my kids when they knew what I had to do and I had no food. I had to pay for the bills. I had friends living with me, and I had to pay rent. I had to pay all these bills. I had to feed everybody, including my friends, and I still had to pay some of my friends just to watch my kids. And I was taking care of them too. You see what I mean? And everybody was eating from me. Everybody was taken from me, to the point where when I paid all the bills, guess what? I had nothing for myself. I had nothing to put away in savings, because I had to make sure everybody was eating. Everyone had a roof over their head. And when it came to me asking for help on something so small, just so I can feed everybody, it was always an issue. Right? I remember asking for help and reaching out to people like, hey guys, I need help, or I need advice on a situation, because I feel like everyone's taken from me. Everyone's eating from me. I don't know how to survive. How do I make sure I have something for myself? I reached out to more than one person, just asking. I wasn't asking them for no money. I was asking them to give me advice on what I need to do, right? To get out of the situation. Do you know that those times when I was asking for advice, do you know I had tears running down my face, and not one person reached out and said, let me give this girl some advice? Nobody did, right? So I say this to say to you guys, You crying out for help doesn't always have to be you letting someone know you're in a crisis. It could be just literally be, hey, I need advice on something. That God says you don't need to cry for help to nobody, because what happened was you guys were crying out for help to the wrong people. Let me tell you something. You know when you're going to receive help? This is when you're going to receive help. When you remove yourself from these people, and you're going to feel lonely. But when you remove yourself from these people and you acknowledge the fact that the only person you need in your life is God, the only source you need in your life is God, when you acknowledge that and you are okay with being alone, I'm telling you, you're going to hear more clearly, because you know why? Your distractions can be too loud. Your distractions can be too loud. The more and more trauma you're enduring, the more and more you're focused on the trauma, the more and more you're not focused on God. Do you understand that? It's when you're finally away from everybody and you can't really focus too much on the trauma. There's no trauma being added on to what you're already enduring. It's when you can reflect on what has already been done and you can seek God. And then when you seek God, you can hear God clearly. Let me tell you something. Once I remove myself from everybody, God has made some huge changes in my life. God was the only person there for me. God said, you don't need to cry out to help for nobody. You have to cry to me for help, because I'm the only one that's going to be there for you. At the end of the day, these people that are taken from you guys, these people that are putting you guys down, they're not going to save your soul at the end of the day. Most of them are soulless. It's God that's going to save your soul when you leave here. Remember that. Not them. Not them. Especially if they're the ones that are doing the witchcraft on you. They ain't gonna save your soul. Cry to God for help. Cry to God for help. It's your loneliest moments when you'll realize how much God has really been there for you. And a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, Steph, I've been crying to God for help and God ain't responding to me. I don't hear God. God is ignoring me. God's not ignoring you. You know what it is? Your distractions are too loud. Your distractions are way too loud. That's what it is. You have to acknowledge the fact that, yes, being alone is okay. Acknowledge the fact that, okay, God is the only person I have, the only source I have here. Get rid of all the distractions. Once you get rid of all the distractions, you're going to be able to hear. This is why I tell you guys, once you pull away, they're going to go harder with the rituals. They're going to go harder with the spells. You know why? Because they know that you caught on. They know that you caught on. Ever since I pulled away, guess what? I can save money. I can elevate now. You get what I'm saying? I can hear God. God warns me about everything, down to the foods I eat. I can travel with my kids. I can do a lot of the stuff that people said I would never do. Why? Because I removed myself from the distractions, to the point where distractions weren't as loud as they used to be. When distractions are in your face, trust me, they're loud. I'm not talking about just loud hearing wise. Being around distractions is loud enough. Because not only are you distracting yourself hearing wise, but you're also distracting yourself physically, visually. Okay, you're also fogging yourself. When you remove yourself, you can receive more. But then you'll notice, like I said, the rituals will go up more. They'll become stronger. And it's mainly your family. It's mainly your family, guys. You think people in your family want to see you break generational curses? No, they don't want it to be you. They don't want it to be the person that they said wasn't going to be nobody in life. That's embarrassing to them. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. You know, in 2019... it was around close to Christmas. You know, I was like, oh, maybe it's not this person in my family. I'm going to surprise this person. I went online and I bought a Speedy Louis Vuitton purse for someone in my family. And I bought it that night. Didn't think twice about it. I just wanted to surprise her and buy her own Louis bag. The next morning, I checked my bank account. I noticed it didn't go through. I thought it went through because I got the email and everything. And I noticed it said it didn't go through because I have to call the bank and confirm, because they thought it was a fraud charge. So I'm like, okay, let me call the bank. Why did I hear God say no? He blocked it on purpose. And I didn't know why. I'm like, I just want to buy her a Louis. He's like, no. When I found out a year later, 2 years later, that she was one of the main haters I had. She was one of the main ones doing the rituals on me, paying people to do rituals on me. She was one of my biggest haters. And it made so much sense, because I had to rewind and go back to my childhood and really put everything together and realize, whoa, I almost bought this woman a whole Louis Vuitton. I didn't even have Louis Vuitton that time. And I was going to buy her one before me, you know? And God blocked that transaction. Sometimes you guys give to the wrong people. That's the problem. You give to the wrong people, and that alone is crying for help because you want to feel validated by giving. Stop doing that. Go to God. All you need is God. Okay? Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.